You won't believe what just happened to Betty Bayo's husband, Hiram Gitau. In a shocking twist that has left the internet in absolute disbelief, Pastor Kanyari's own brother has confirmed that the children's custody is now shifting to Pastor Kanyari.
Because mimi ningeambiwa nilie sababu ya ex wangu, mimi labda nimkimbize na panga bwana siwe na
officially questioning the entire co-parenting arrangement between two fathers.
Na ninaona ya kwamba hata siku ya leo wale watoto watarudi katika mikono ya Pastor Kanyari, bwana asifiwe.
And that is not all, because just days after Pastor Kanyari exposed jaw-dropping details about a group of people secretly dividing the children amongst themselves, Hiram Gitau has now been left completely heartbroken, in tears, devastated and unsure of what comes next.
Ninafurahia kwamba sababu watoto watarudi, because hata mimi nilikuwa najiuliza ya kwamba utafanyaje co-parenting na mwanaume mwenzako.
The custody war everyone feared has officially exploded into the open, and the children caught in the middle of it. Two fathers fighting for their future, and a revelation that nobody saw coming.
Najua it is very hard because sasa ile ilikuwa super glue bwana, sasa imeondoka. Sasa you cannot co-parent na mwanaume mwenzako, bwana asifiwe. Kwa hivyo mahali mzee yuko apate hiyo ujumbe, tunangojea kilicho chetu Mungu.
But before we dive into the heartbreaking drama, you need to know what led to this explosive moment, because what happened days before this announcement is going to leave you absolutely stunned. Betty Bayo left behind two precious children, Sky Victor and Danny Victor. These kids are now at the center of a controversy that has divided public opinion, sparked heated debates across social media, and raised uncomfortable questions about parenting, rights, and what happens when a family is shattered by tragedy. On one side, we have Pastor Victor Kanyari, the biological father who shares DNA with these children from his previous relationship with Betty Bayo. On the other side stands Hiram Gitau, known affectionately as Tash, Betty's current husband, who has been a stepfather to Sky and Danny, the man who tucked them into bed at night, helped them with homework, and built a life with them in their beautiful Edenville state home. Now here is where things get absolutely explosive. Just days ago, Pastor Kanyari made a statement that sent ripples through the community, a statement dripping with frustration and barely contained anger. During one of his sermons, the controversial preacher didn't hold back. He revealed that a group of people had started dividing the children amongst themselves, plotting their future without consulting him. Wameanza kugawana watoto wangu. Those were his exact words in Swahili, which translates to, "They have started dividing my children amongst themselves." His voice cracked with emotion as he stood before his congregation at Salvation Healing Ministries Church near Kayole Junction. Pastor Kanyari revealed the painful reality of co-parenting that had worked beautifully when Betty Bayo was alive. He explained how he maintained boundaries, how he called her mom and she called him Baba Sky, how they communicated about their children's needs even though she was married to another man. He spoke about conversations that lasted 30 minutes, filled with laughter but always respectful of Betty's marriage to Tash. It was a delicate balance of co-parenting arrangement that many praised as mature and child-centered, but that is not all. Wait until you see what happened next.
Tunangojea kilicho chetu. Mungu awabariki.
The situation escalated rapidly when Tash was spotted meeting with a prominent Nairobi lawyer, Mwangi. Social media erupted with speculations. Was this about custody? Was Tash preparing for a legal battle? And the photos of him at the lawyer's office alongside gospel singer Shiroa GP and a woman named Joyce went viral instantly. Kenyans began taking sides. Some argued that Tash, who had been present into their children's daily lives, deserved consideration. Others firmly stated that biological ties trump everything, that Kanyari as the father held the ultimate right. The meeting at the lawyer's office sent the rumor mill into overdrive. People speculated about legal maneuvers, custody petitions, and the possibility of a drawn-out court battle that will drag these grieving children through emotional turmoil. The tension between what seemed like two camps, Team Kanyari and Team Tash, was palpable across every social media platform. Meanwhile, Pastor Kanyari wasn't sitting idle. The preacher announced publicly that he had secured a 90 million shilling mansion in Runda, one of Nairobi's most exclusive neighborhoods. This wasn't just about any house. This was a statement, a declaration that he could provide the best for his children. Whether they will give me the kids or not, only God knows what will happen, but I will fight for justice, he proclaimed from his pulpit, his voice resonating with determination. What makes this situation even more complicated is the public nature of it all. Betty Bayo was a public figure. Her life played out on social media where she shared family moments, celebrations and everyday joy of raising her children. Sky and Danny appeared in countless posts, their faces familiar to thousands of Kenyans who followed Betty's journey. And now, in death, the private family tragedy has become a public spectacle. Pastor Kanyari himself has contributed to this publicity. He has made statements from his pulpit, given press briefings, posted on social media and allowed cameras into his grief. Some might argue that this transparency is honest and real. Others suggest that it is manipulative, designed to sway public opinion in his favor. After all, if the count of public opinion sides with Kanyari, won't that pressure influence other stakeholders? Then there's the matter of 90 million shillings Runda mansion. Kanyari's announcement about this property wasn't subtle. It was a flex, a demonstration that he has the financial means to provide luxury for his children. But is that what matters most? Is parenting about who has the bigger house, or is it about who has been present in the daily grind of raising kids? Tash and Betty lived in a beautiful home in Edenville Estate, a serene gated community valued at approximately 24 million shillings. It was there that Tash became a part of their children's routine, their daily reality. He was the one who heard about their school days, who comforted them when they had nightmares, who sat at the dinner table with them night after night. And that is not something that you can just erase because biology says otherwise. Meanwhile, Hiram Gitau has remained largely silent publicly. Unlike Kanyari, who has been vocal and visible, Tash has grieved more privately. At Betty Bayo's memorial service, he was present but subdued, allowing others to speak while he processed his devastating loss. Friends describe him as completely broken, a man who not only lost the love of his life, but now faces the very real responsibility of losing the children he helped raise. Lost in this adult drama are two children who deserved better, Sky Victor and Danny Victor. At the memorial service, young Danny Victor showed remarkable courage when he took to the altar to pay tribute to his mother. Speaking confidently despite his grief, he described Betty Bayo as a perfect mother and vowed to love her forever. But he also said something that broke hearts across the nation. He promised to take care of his elder sister Sky and his father as they are all grappled with this sudden loss. Pastor Kanyari has stated publicly that he has no issues with Tash, urging social media users not to create drama between them or with Betty Bayo's family. "We remain on good terms," he said multiple times, but his brother's statement suggests a different reality, a family that expects the children to return to Kanyari's arms, a perspective that leaves no room for Tash's continued involvement. The legal processes will ultimately determine custody, but the emotional damage is already done. These children have been thrust into a spotlight they never asked for, and their grief has been complicated by adult conflicts, their future uncertain because the adults in their life cannot find common grounds. What is the solution here? Some have suggested a joint custody, an arrangement between both men remain involved in Sky and Danny's lives. After all, children don't have too much love. They benefit from having multiple caring adults invested in their well-being. Others argue that consistency matters more, that the children need one stable home rather than being shuttled between two households. Family mediators emphasizes that whatever decision is made should prioritize what Sky and Danny want and need. Have they been asked whether they feel most comfortable? Have their preferences been considered? Or are they simply expected to accept whatever the adults decide? Betty Bayo's death has exposed the fragility of blended families arrangements when tragedy strikes. It has raised uncomfortable questions about the rights of step-parents and the meaning of fatherhood beyond biology, and the challenges of co-parenting when the connection thread is severed, as Hiram Gitau wipes away tears, mourning not just the loss of his wife but potentially the loss of his stepchildren too, and Pastor Kanyari fights for what he believes are his rightful claims to his biological children. Sky and Danny are left to navigate grief while their future is debated, dissected, and decided by others. What do you think should happen? Should biology trump the daily presence of a stepfather? Should Tash have legal rights despite not being the biological parent? And how do you balance what is legally correct with what is emotionally right for the children? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story as heartbreaking as the complex as we did, please like the video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more updates of this developing story. The custody battle for Betty Bayo's children is far from over, and we'll all be here to bring you every dramatic development as it unfolds. This is a tragedy that never should have become a public spectacle, but now that it has, we owe it to Sky and Danny to hope that wisdom, compassion, and genuine concern for their well-being will prevail over ego, pride, and legal technicalities. Betty Bayo deserves to rest in peace, knowing that her children will be loved and cared for, regardless of whose house they call home. Stay tuned because this story is far from over. The legal proceedings are just beginning and there are still many questions left unanswered. Will the courts favor Kanyari's biological claim, or will they consider Tash's role in raising these children? Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any update in this heartbreaking custody saga.